We're live again! Hi everyone! We're about to hop into our first adventure of the evening, which I've called Bardsaling. But before we do so, we're going to take a brief moment and introduce all of our heroes here. So without further ado, we have Kokla Aeriskiba, or formerly Kokla Aeriskiba, but now Kokla Aeriskiba Brasscrown. Welcome, Kokla.
It's good to be here!
So, Kokla, there's been a noticeable change. There's been a noticeable change in you since the last time that we spoke.
Yep. Everything is going my way.
Our way.
Yes,
Yes,
I think both of your ways. I think that this is a great time to also introduce Zeta Brasscrown, the little king of dragons. Hello, Zeta.
Hello.
So, Kokla, Zeta, from what I understand, the two of you have been wed. You're married now.
Yes, we're married. Oh, we have kids now too.
Oh my goodness. You're married and you have children.
We have 14 kids so far.
14 children? Kokla.
Yeah. Kobold families are complicated.
I know. I don't fully understand all of the logistics and genetics of kobolds. But you have 14 children. Congratulations for start, both on your marriage and on your your newborn children.
They're little demons. I'm letting my brother watch them.
But is that like little demons? Is that like an affectionate term?
Yes, they're my little demons. Some of them are already casting spells.
I know that was number 14 that you said, or 18?
14.
14. Have you? I assume the answer is yes. Can you give me just a couple of their names? I'm just curious. Have you named any of the kids?
Let me think.
They all.
Trying to find the list. Where did I keep that list?
I'm sorry to put you on the spot. Yeah, in this particular instance.
Oh, one of them is we have a daughter named Nuri. She's like me. She likes to cast spells. We have our son Thero, who's actually more studious than the others. He likes to study magic himself.
Tiro.
I'll be asking. We have two so far. I'm going to be asking for bios on all of your children in future weeks, but I think that's enough for now. But Kokla, Zeta, welcome to both of you. Congratulations on the big day and these huge milestones that have happened so recently in your lives.
Thank you.
And welcome to both of you. I'm glad that despite your probably very busy schedule now, you're both still able to come out and adventure.
Yep.
Oh yeah, I just dropped them off with my brother or my great grandfather.
Well, that's good that you have such a good family support system to rely on. But without further ado, I'd also like to welcome our next hero here. We have Valraith Windrunner, the Knight of the Verdant Fog, is with us this evening as well. Welcome, Valraith.
Welcome. I see you're looking extra dapper today, Pete.
Well, thank you very much. Yes, you noticed I shaved my face.
Yes.
I did that by accident, as it were, but I'm glad that you like the look.
It's baby face.
Yeah, I definitely feel a little bit colder in the room now without the beard. But Valraith, I'm more interested in how you're doing. Valraith, how are you? What have you been up to since you've become a faithful to your adventurer?
I'm doing great. And Crix has had me bring his trophy bag, and you see this giant bag behind him. And he's just like carrying it. Mm-hmm. And he wants me to put things in the bag too. And I just kind of drop it on the ground. And then I go and I start picking things up. You know, like this was the other lithic head he got. And this was, and then I see the bag kind of move. What's in the bag?
What is in the bag, Valraith?
I think, and I'm gonna pull it out, and I've never seen this person before. Who is that?
Hello. Wait, what? Do my ears deceive me? Beardfish, is that you?
It's bright out here.
Beardfish, how did you end up in Valraith's bag, or I guess Crixus's bag?
There is food in there, and I've been in there a while, I think. The food's good.
I was
Did you
wondering what we were
kidnap
going to
this
do for our fourth
person?
adventure.
No, I didn't. I was just supposed to put some trophies in the bag.
Beardfish pulls a potato out of the bag and just starts eating it raw.
Well, Beardfish, so long as you're here, welcome to you as well. I don't know if you're interested in going on an adventure, since you've already kind of been brought along in the bag here.
Yeah.
Excellent.
You're familiar. Who are you?
It's been a long time, I know. I'm Pete, but it's good to have you with us again, Beardfish.
Wait a minute. Beardfish pulls off their fake beard and holds it up over your face. Oh, now I recognize you.
Yes, and normally it's different. I'm going through something right now, but Beardfish, it has been a very long time, but I am so glad to have you back again.
Yeah, it's the sun is back. I am in the sun. It was dark in there.
Hopefully your adventures bring you to a lot of outdoor areas where you can get some fresh air, and maybe some, I guess you said the food was good, but hopefully some cooked potatoes out there as well. But I guess without further ado, let's hop into this adventure. As you pull Beardfish out of your bag, Valraith, you find yourself right on the precipice of Bartholomew's shop, and as the four of you walk in, you see the wizard greets you all as you go, greetings, adventurers, Kokla, Valraith, Zeta, Beardfish. It's been quite some time. It's good to see you again, all of you. It's quite good to see all of you.
Hello.
Yes, hello. I have a very important mission for the four of you. If you would be so good as to help me out today. There's a personal request, if you will.
Do tell. Give us the details.
Yes, of course. Always. There's something of a yard sale going on today. It's over in the East Town that it is happening. It's being put on in memoriam of a well-known bard. His name was Mendelsohn Cricket. And he had no family and he had no will. So the town where he spent most of his life is just doing sort of a big yard sale to raise funds for the town. He very much loved the town in his life. It does seem like something that he would want. But he was a collector of sorts. I know among all of the knickknacks and trinkets that he had within his house, there are bound to be a number of magic items. In particularly, I do believe he was a collector of cursed items. So if you could go to the yard sale and just buy as many as you can. Here's 1,000 gold. And he hands you over a bag of 1,000 gold. Just go and purchase as many cursed items. At least, I think 1,000 gold. You should be able to get at least 8 of them. So if you can get me 8 cursed items, I'll consider it an adventurer's salary. Should be an easier one.
This seems simple.
Yes, it shouldn't be overly a challenge, but well, normally I would just go myself and detect magic and just find all the magic items and buy them all. But apparently they assumed the same thing and have been putting some dampening magic on divinations in the area. So if you intend to rely on divination spells to find them, you may find that is, at least to some degree, hindered.
Sounds simple enough. Shouldn't be too hard for little Kobold and his queen. Right, Kokla?
Right, Zeta? We'll make sure this gets done.
And that is good news. Well, if you don't have any other questions, any of you, I'll send you on your way.
Yeah, I'm just going to set this bag over here in the corner where I know it's safe. I'll have to put some things in it for later.
That's Crixus's, yes?
Yes.
Who wants the money, by the way? 1,000 gold pieces? Budget?
I'll take it.
All right.
I mean, if I can carry a giant tree, I could probably carry this much gold anyway.
He hands you a pretty weighty bag of gold. And
Nice.
He goes, all right. Well, without further ado, going once, going twice. And he snaps his fingers, and the group of you find yourself suddenly transported into a pretty heavy moving crowd. A few people kind of stop and stare and look at you in surprise as you appear on the center of this teleportation circle here. But you are suddenly in the midst of what looks like, well, a bustling yard sale. There are people moving around. You can see that there are big kind of like tents and canopies. It's mostly an outdoor affair that you immediately start taking in. The whole thing is sort of fenced in because it has a gate, but you don't see what might have been his house that they're selling from. Like, you can't tell where the yard is, but the scale of this thing is huge. Like, this person's collection must have filled like a pretty grand manor or mansion of some kind in order to have this much stuff here. But people walk around, they talk, there's people like looking over different prices. You can hear people like kind of haggling in the distance. But you have, the four of you arrived at the yard sale, or the barn sale as the case may be. And you are free. Bartholomew needs to get 8 cursed items. That is where our adventure begins. What would the four of you like to do?
So there's is there like tables set up?
Yeah, so to give you a little bit of a better idea, for one thing, you can see right in front of you, there's you can see that there's an area that's kind of, like I said, the whole thing is fenced in, and you guys are on the outside of that right now. But there seems to be a couple of people that are working the yard sale that are standing in front of it, kind of answering questions as people are walking in. But beyond that, you can also see, it seems like the whole yard sale is like divided into sections by like category. Like, one of the things that you can immediately see on your right is what looks like a whole bunch of furniture is just inside like the fenced in section.
Nice! Let's go find our way in.
All right, let's go.
All right. You guys begin kind of working your way into it, and you see there's an elven woman that's kind of standing by the front gate that greets you guys as you come. Welcome to the final yard sale of the late Mendelsohn Cricket. We are so glad that you were able to be here. All of the proceeds from today's yard sale are going to go towards Easttown, the home to which he dedicated his life. So please try not to haggle us too much. And she kind of smiles at you. But of course, if you have any questions, I'd be happy to help you get going and show you around the yard sale.
I won't haggle you unless you haggle me first.
I actually don't do a lot of the haggling myself. You can talk to that gentleman over there. And he can be a little bit combative when it comes to sales, I won't lie, but he's a nice folk at heart. This is, after all, it's all for a good cause.
So, let's get going. Is there anything I can see that would really pique Bartholomew's interest?
Immediately kind of looking around, yeah, and as you kind of step away, she says, all right, enjoy the sale. Just so you know, we have divided things up. You'll see furniture, and she kind of points around and denotes to you there's a few different sections to the yard sale here. You can see there is one that's all like his clothing, which is one of the larger ones. It looks like this guy had a ton of different clothes. You can see that furniture one, which I described, a whole section that's all just like musical instruments and various like musical equipment and accoutrement. There's just like a big knickknacks pile that you can see, books, you know, little statues, stuff like that. There's kitchenware. There's a whole section that just seems to be like plates and dishes and like appliances and stuff like that. So that's those are kind of the 5 major sections you can see. There's like a clothing, furniture, music, knickknacks, and kitchenware are the kind of zones that they have denoted here. But immediately just looking about and trying to get an idea, go ahead and make me a perception check. Yeah, I think perception is appropriate because you're just trying to get the lay of the land here.
Okay. One moment. Just checking a setting.
4.
Can I make a perception check too?
Yeah,
I would
absolutely.
also.
Yeah, everyone wants to go ahead and look around. Kokla, as a bard, your eyes are immediately kind of brought over into the section of musical instruments. and you can see that there are quite a few, like, even if they're not immediately standing out to you as magical, there are a lot of obviously very old and valuable musical instruments in that section. The person was, a noted bard. He probably had a pretty impressive collection. Among them, you do see a piano that appears to be playing itself, and some other kind of fairly interesting looking pieces. But that's the section that you notice that you probably, I think, Kokla would have a good eye for quality in that area.
Oh, yes.
And Valraith, with a 16, you're looking around, and there is, in the furniture section, you can see that there's a whole bunch of very, fine oaks and mahogany furnitures and things like that. One that stands out to you is there's a big bed, and the mattress appears to be shaped like a cloud, which is just appealing to your, just appealing probably to you personally as something that would be of value, although you're not necessarily certain that it's magical.
Yes, well, I do have some change, some spare coin. So.
Zeta, nothing is instantly popping out to you, though, with that floor.
Hey, Zeta, look, we should check out the instruments.
Oh, I mean, of course. I need to be into that.
Yeah, sure. So you begin working your way across the art sales. Everyone going over there? Are you guys working together, or are you trying to fan out on this one?
I mean, I'm the one with the bag of gold. Maybe we should all stick together. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, fair enough.
Good.
So you guys all work your way over into the instrument section. And like I said, as soon as you kind of get there, the most sort of notable item in the area, appears to be that piano, which is playing itself. And Kokla, you take a look at it and you realize, no, this isn't a magic item per se. This is just a player piano, which is, it's an impressive piece of engineering, perhaps, but not necessarily a magical item. But there's a bunch of stuff over here. There are these really old-looking, tribal drums that are stacked up over in the corner with intricate carvings upon them. You can see a whole box of what looks like flutes. There's pan pipes and things along those lines in there. There's a whole section of you can see there's various stringed instrument. There's some violins. There's a harp, like a full kind of grand-sized harp in the corner, as well as a box of what looks like just more miscellaneous percussion instruments like tambourines, maracas, stuff like that. So these are some of the things. You can see that there are customers that are walking about, trying some of the stuff out. There's a pretty talented violinist currently who's playing one of the violins over in the corner. And seems to be appreciatively humming and kind of enjoying the tone that it's making.
I do have a bit of an idea. Kokla, do you think you can help me out? I wish to make an Arcana check to see if I can figure out what's magical and what's not.
Okay, I'll help you out.
Yeah. Can we do that?
Yeah, go ahead and go ahead and make me just an Arcana check, just as a baseline, kind of trying to see if anything has a particularly.
I was gonna roll with advantage because Kokla's gonna help me because she knows her instruments.
Yeah, that's fair. Go ahead and make me an Arcana check. 16. All right, so you're investigating around and trying to find out if any of these things are particularly magical. You notice magic from a couple of areas around here with a 16, although you're not quite able to pinpoint it down. You can see that box that has all those little percussion instruments and stuff in it. You walk over to it and you pick it up, and you can hear Valraith, go ahead and just throw it up on the board while you're doing that. Yes, I suspected that might be the case. The 16th, you pick up that box of percussion instruments, and as you do so, Zeta, you feel extremely ill. The moment you kind of grab onto the box, there's something, you feel a magical illness overtake you almost the second that you do. Zeta, you have a failed death saving throw. As you hear as you hear all of the instruments, all the percussion instruments in this begin to kind of shake around and make the noises that they make, you gain a failed death saving throw. You're fine, but if you go down at some point, you'll be closer to death.
I don't think I'm gonna put the box down. I gotta be more careful with this stuff.
You think now, Bartholomew did mention that he was a big collector of cursed items. Another thing that you notice, and actually Valraith, you pick this up as you are spreading out with your senses, detect magic around you.
Yep.
As Bartholomew mentioned, they were kind of dampening some of the divination in this area, but you can tell that, one, there's something magic in the thing that Max is holding on to. One of those pipes is definitely magical. The pipes, like, there's all like the flutes and various like windpipes and stuff like that. One of those is definitely magical. And those big, you're definitely getting something in the direction of those big drums that I described before.
Okay, I'm gonna be more careful about this. So, yeah, before I touch anything else, I'm going to use Mage Hand.
All right. What are you going for? What are you going after?
I'm going to use Mage Hand to search for the boxes while Valraith helps me figure out which one of those little flutes is cursed.
Arcana check, or
With your detect magic, because that thing will last 10 minutes.
yeah, that's
With the detect magic, you can tell that one of these things has magic. Like, there's magic in the general area, but you're getting that from kind of around you in different places as well. You think probably, frankly, the only real way to like be certain that something is going to be magic here without the extreme use of it would be to just kind of try some of them out.
Yeah, I'm not touching that.
fine.
What is the shiniest thing?
I'm gonna go to the box.
The shiniest thing. Which section are you going for? Are you going after the? Are you going after like the percussion? Are you going after the winds? Or are you?
Whichever one has the most shiny stuff. Beardfish doesn't know crap about magic, but they know that if it's magic, it's probably shiny.
That is extremely fair. You begin rooting through the box of percussion instruments. You probably have some fun for a moment with the triangle that you see within there, which is a very brilliantly shiny metal object. You find yourself some of those little like hand symbols, which have a good sheen to them. And then as you're digging through, at the bottom of it, there's maracas, and they're shiny in a little bit of a different way. You can see the tops of them look like they're just like the heads of skulls, and they do have maybe a little bit of a glow to them underneath all of it. Do you go and pick them up?
Yes.
Then the same thing that happened to Max before happens to you. As you pick up the maracas and they begin to rattle, you feel this like weight come over you. As you've picked up the death rattles, you've gained a failed death saving throw. But you definitely are certain now that these things that you have in your hands are magical.
Is there like a bag or something we can use real quick? Wait, oh crud.
Valraith left his bag. Valraith left his bag behind.
We need the bag.
I mean, I have a backpack, but let me see. I think I got a little bag in here. I got a couple pouches that I have.
I'm gonna need to borrow that backpack with my mage hand.
You're looking around. Go ahead and make me a perception check, Zeta.
Perception check. Okay, another one coming up.
13?
Not advantaged. No, not advantaged.
12. Yeah, 12's enough. You're kind of looking around, and you're pretty near like the furniture section still where you are. And as you say that you're looking for a bag, you actually notice at the yard sale, not a bag per se, but there's a pretty big looking pot that you could put stuff in. It would make a decent carrying receptacle.
Ah, nice. I'm gonna go purchase that.
Okay. You walk over. You grab the pot. It's actually pretty heavy.
How heavy? If it's heavier than 10 pounds, my mage hand can't hold it.
Yeah, it's definitely heavier than 10 pounds.
Darn it.
Um,
Because if we, I was trying to figure out a way we could transport this stuff without, making ourselves sick.
Yeah, I mean, it might work. It just, it's just a little bit heavy. You'd have to carry the pot and not use the main
Actually, no, I have an idea. I'll buy the pot, then we'll leave it somewhere, and whenever we find a magic item, we're gonna put it in that pot. How's that sound?
Someone may try to buy that, and we don't know if I'm scrupulous or.
What? Then we'll take it outside then, so no one will take it. Besides, if anyone takes the stuff we're trying to get, they're just gonna get sick just like we will.
And as you say that, a voice kind of near you, Zeta, says, "Oh, don't worry, I can watch the pot for you right here."
Oh, thank you. How much for the pot? Because we kind of want.
And you look over, and you see that the voice that's speaking to you, it appears to be a bust that is talking to you. It is a bust of what looks like a grasshopper entothrope, who kind of has turned his head towards you and kind of bows towards you. And I'll tell you this much: I'm not really going anywhere, so I'd be happy to look over the pot for you.
Oh, thank you, Thank you, sir. Grasshopper.
Cricket. This is actually, well, I guess you could say it's my yard sale, or, well, the person who's like this as I am, yard sale. Most of my experience has just been sitting in his storeroom, occasionally talking to him. Yes.
Wait,
Mendelsohn Cricket is how
you're a representation of the guy that just died?
Yes. I guess if you could say that, I have been carved in his likeness.
Well, that's cool. Thanks for helping us. Bartholomew wants to get these items, but some of your items are actually, dangerous.
Yes, I know that he was a collector of strange cursed objects. And on the subject, I don't know, a lot of that mayonnaise goes bad.
Where are your legs?
That is a wonderful question. I don't have any legs, I'm just a bust.
Oh.
And we're in the furniture section now?
You're right on the border between the two, yeah. So you're kind of right near the furniture section.
How far away is that cloud pillow?
Cloud bed, it's maybe just like, it's like 20 feet away. You can just walk over to it.
It's a bed? I thought you
Yeah,
said
it's a whole bed. It's like a mattress that's been shaped like a cloud, and it's up on a bed frame right now.
Mr. Cricket, if we bring you some of these items, you can help us identify them.
Oh, tell you a bit about what they are?
Yes. We want to know if they're magical or not, because our client is looking for specific magic items.
Oh, well, I can tell you that I'm magical. That pot is magical. I only know about the things. Oh, that bed your friend's eyeing, that's certainly magical. I mostly know about the things that are were around me when I was there. Have you seen that? There was a little garden gnome that used to live across me. He was quite a conversationalist, but he was certainly magical.
Okay, well, I'm gonna use Mage Hand to show him the maracas. Do you know what these are?
Oh no, those are terrible, terrible things. I saw the master almost kill himself a few times trying to use them. Never figured out how to get rid of that curse.
That explains why we got really ill touching them. And then I put it in the pot.
Just don't. All right, you open the pot and put it into the pot, and you just hear a splork is kind of the sound that happens as you see that the pot is entirely full of mayonnaise.
Mayonnaise? What?
Yep. He goes, yes, that was an old alchemy jug. They can make mayonnaise. This one only makes mayonnaise.
I facepalm.
Oh, that's interesting.
You dump it out, though, and you'll have death maracas that are only slightly covered in mayonnaise.
Yeah, that's true. We can always clean it off.
Stuff is really good. I found some of it in that bag. And I wanted more, and now we could have more.
Well, well, we
This
have
is
2
maybe
magic
not
items.
a cursed item to
We got a
Beardfish.
cursed item. We got. Maybe we can buy Cricket himself.
Well, he's
Maybe I
dead.
get that.
I'm just a bust.
I know, but still, I bet Bartholomew would like to talk to you.
Maybe. I would maybe like to talk to Bartholomew. I don't talk to anyone. This has been delightful, by the way. All these people about and discussion, it's been wonderful. If you were wondering, the current asking price for me is 100 gold pieces, and I'd be happy to go with all of you.
Oh, perfect.
Do you know the price of the pot, too?
Ooh, I heard someone discussing it before. They wanted, I believe, 150 gold pieces for the pot full of mayonnaise.
How much for the bed?
I know what you're wondering. Were you insulted at all that a pot of mayonnaise was worth more than you, a sentient bust? Yes, I was. The bed, I haven't heard any of them discuss it, but he doesn't gesture. He kind of seems to like move and try and like push his bust as if to point. He's over there, the person that's been handling most of the sales. You could ask him.
Okay, so.
Do you know anything about the death maracas?
The death maracas, if you tell them what they do, maybe they'll give them to you for free. Probably not, though.
Yeah, maybe it's a good idea we tell them because that's I don't think anyone should pay any money for this thing.
No. We were hired to purchase legitimately.
Yes, yes, but
They
we're not.
might want more.
Yes,
We could
but
also try to convince them for a discount because potential death.
Also, if someone else buys these, we might end up having a dead person case that we don't want to have our hands on.
Yeah.
I mean, I touched them, and I'm fine.
You see, as Beardfish looks at you, their face is just like a little bit sunken and less vital than it was when they first greeted you.
I'm gonna go. Okay, so we have. Let's see. We have magical bust, magical pot of mayonnaise, and death maracas. So we got 3 of 8 things already. This is not.
And potentially the bed.
Hey, Mr. Legless Leggy Boy.
You can just call me Mendelsohn.
Yeah, that's the guy. But
Do you know other things here that are magical?
Ooh, like I mentioned, that gnome.
Go for that gnome.
Oh, I haven't seen him. They separated us. It was a sad ending of our longtime friendship.
Let's find a friend for you. Let's do it. Let's find a friend.
All right.
I don't know how to find magic, but I know how to find friends.
He's probably
You two could try and find the gnome while me and Zeta ask about the maracas and the bed.
Yes.
Oh yeah, were you checking out the bed?
Yes. Oh yes. I'm totally gonna check out the bed.
yeah, just I was gonna go with Kokla because I have to use Mage Hand to hold this. Because if anyone else touches this, they're gonna get.
Yeah.
All right. You begin. All right. In that case, going over mage handing the maracas, and as you do, they don't hurt you. So that is definitely an effective way to carry them. Are you dragging the pot along with you too? Also, are you bringing the?
No,
Okay, you're just leaving that there.
I'm gonna leave that with the bus because Cricket said they're gonna watch over it.
Okay, cool.
Besides,
Keep in
Cricket
mind
and
that if someone buys me before you do, there's nothing I can do about it. I'm just a boss. And he's, Valraith, you go over to that bed. Like I said, it's textured kind of like a cloud. It's in that kind of like cloud shape, and it kind of has bumps and hills to it. It looks extremely comfortable.
And it's magical. I can.
He said that he thought it was magic. The bus said that, yeah, he didn't seem 100% confident, but he said he thought that this thing was magic in some way.
I'm gonna go like feel bad.
You put your hand onto it. I'd like you to make me a wisdom saving throw.
Yep. I know it.
another cursed item, it seems.
10.
Oh!
You place your hand onto the bed, and You just immediately begin to grow tired and fall asleep, passing out forward onto the bed. That's what everyone else sees. What you see, Valraith, is suddenly you're in a dark, stormy area. It's just clouds and thunder all around you, and normally in a storm, Valraith, as an emissary of the cloud, you'd be confident, but for some reason, you're just scared. Lightning kind of crashes down around you, and you can feel like the thunder, it hurts you. It's the clouds lightning, but it's painful. You're having a terrible nightmare, it seems like right now. You're currently passed out on the bed. You guys can see Valraith kind of like squirming around a little bit uncomfortably. And you take a point of psychic damage.
1 sec.
Do you have some move for this?
Yeah, it's called the Ancestry.
Oh, magic can't put you to sleep. What? In that case, Valraith, everything that I said happens because I already said it happened, but then you realize, like, oh wait, I'm just meditating. I can open my eyes, and you take no psychic damage, and you're totally fine. But you can definitely tell that this bed is magical and does some funky stuff.
Well, let's inquire about those 4 items, shall we?
Yes.
Yeah, and buy the pot, the bust, and everything else.
I think that's the first time I've ever seen an elf get out of a sleep-related effect.
Perfect.
You walk up. You can behind the counter. You can see that there's a tiefling who greets you as you come over. Yes.
Yes, we'd like to inquire on 4 things.
Well, tell me the nature of the objects, and I will give you my valuation.
Well, first there's a pot that
Magical pot of mayonnaise, and right next to it, we want that bust of the guy, of the. Oh.
I want that bed.
The bust of Mendelsohn, the sweet dreams mastress, and the cursed alchemy jug.
Oh, and also shows him the maracas. This.
He looks.
And where's the gnome? I want the gnome.
Yes.
I can't say I'm fully versed in every item that's on display here, but I would advise looking over with the small statuettes and things. It's a garden gnome, I assume, yes?
Yeah.
right.
Sure.
I would assume so, but what would you say for these 4 items?
All totaled, I could put you in for
400?
Oh, no. No. The minimum price I could do for these 4 items would be 550 gold pieces. 120, 200, 100, and 130. As he points at the alchemy drug, the mattress, the bust, and then the rattle that you're holding in succession.
Well, I would like to make an argument here. Because these rattles are highly dangerous and could kill people.
But I would like to make an argument. You wish to purchase them.
You know...
So you have an interest in that danger, it must be assumed, yes?
Well, it's more of an interest that we wish to remove the items so that no one else gets hurt, because... Let's just say if someone else bought that and they didn't know what it was, they could get themselves killed.
Go ahead and make me either Kokla or Zeta can make a persuasion check with advantage, because I think both of you were kind of working together.
You want me to do it, Kokla? Oh, never mind. You did
20,
really good.
He goes, 20 kind of looks at you and he goes, that could be a pretty significant lawsuit. Fine, I will do 4. I'll take 50 gold pieces off of the rattle.
That sounds like a nice deal then. I think we'll take it.
Because you're purchasing so many things in a large bundle, and it's for the town. But we can do that. We can do 500 in that case for all of it.
Okay, 500 it is.
All right.
And congratulations, you've purchased 4 items thus far. You got yourself a...
We got a bus, a jar of mayonnaise, some rattles, and a really crisp bed.
A very fancy mattress. Yeah, you got a bunch of stuff. You seem like you were going after that gnome beardfish. Do you want to make me a perception check?
Yes, I do.
I also would like to do that.
All right. So if there's 2 of us looking, can we help each other look?
Yeah. Either one of you can roll with advantage, or you both can just roll.
+3.
Yep, you're rolling with advantage.
Oh, Chris!
Oh!
You find it right
Very
away.
nice.
Yeah, Beardfish is kind of like pointing like, oh, the knickknacks are over there. That's where all the like little statues and stuff are. And you immediately see the iconic red hat and kind of blue shirt of the quintessential garden gnome that is kind of standing over upright on a table amidst a bunch of other, like, you can see there's a bunch of Hummel figures and stuff like that, but you can see a garden gnome that's over there. Valraith, you want to go over?
Absolutely.
All right, you grab it.
You know what? I'm going for it.
All right, you go down and you pick up the garden gnome, and as you go to pick it up, the garden gnome just kind of like takes a little step back, moving away from your hand where you go to grasp it.
Oh,
Hey, it's alive! Just like the
Wow.
bus!
that's kind of cool. Hi.
Hello, friend.
Who told you?
Cricket.
The bust of Cricket.
All
It was
right.
like Mendelsohn and whatever.
Yeah. His
Man,
name's hard to say. I just call
Okay,
him Cricket.
listen to me. I'm
listening.
I am not a garden gnome. I am a garden gnome. Gaurdin. Garden gnome. And that right
I don't
there-
know how words work.
That's my sanctuary. I am not leaving this place.
Wait, so you're telling me that even if we buy you, you're not gonna leave?
I will defend this place to the death. It is my charge.
That's cool.
Oh, what if we got you at
A new place.
Oh, and you want me to get like a whole new area to go into and to protect that?
Yes.
Yeah.
What happens if it's even
Yeah.
cooler than here, though?
Yeah, besides your owner is no longer in the land of the living, so there's nothing much left for you to protect anymore here.
Yes,
Yeah,
he
I-
went to the great garden in the sky.
I understand. So I guess that would be like a complete. Okay, well, is it okay if I go pack my things?
Sure.
Yeah,
Yes.
you know where any magic stuff is here.
You see, and he turns around as he's kind of been slowly backing away, and you see he just starts sprinting away. It seems like he's maybe not gonna go pack his things, and that he's just running for it.
I will also go running for it.
You're gonna chase him down?
Yes.
All right.
Is there a chandelier anywhere?
Please don't
Like
break
hanging up.
anything.
A chandelier. Yeah, you're running. He kind of jumps off and kind of begins going through the furniture section, and you can see that among them there's like 4 chandeliers. There's some fancy candelabras, and they're hanging from very flimsy like wooden boards that they've put. Oh, my music stopped. Very flimsy kind of wooden boards that they're hanging over the furniture section to display these things.
Actually, I had an idea as he just started running. Can I cast a spell as he just starts running?
Roll for initiative.
It was not a damaging spell, but whatever.
Yeah, it's still gonna be. He has stuff that he can do, so
Okay.
roll for initiative.
Ooh. Oh, yes.
He begins taking off. There's a moment of surprise where he gets like a little bit of a lead on you guys as he was kind of talking about, but then you guys all realize what's going on. You all kick into action. The first to act in this case is going to be. We haven't seen Beardfish's initiative
sorry.
yet. No worries. 6. All right. Kokla, you're the first one that can do something. What would you like to do?
I'm gonna try and like sorry.
I mean,
Please grab him. Run and grab him.
yeah, how
all right.
far is he away from us?
He used his turn to dash, so he actually got 60 feet away from you. So if you run up to him, you would only have probably a bonus action left, Kokla.
Oh.
But you could go over and stand next to him to try and get in his way. And if he continues to run from you, you would maybe be able to try and grapple him as a reaction.
And that is what I will do.
All right, so you get up in his frame, and you're kind of keeping up alongside of him. He looks back at you. I have to protect this place. As we move next in initiative to Valraith.
I will also go running.
All right.
And get up right up beside him.
60 feet?
Yep.
All right. That's going to bring us next in initiative to the gnome himself. You can see he reaches into his pocket and he goes, all right, well, joke's on you guys. And he takes out what looks like a little jar, just a tiny gnome-sized jar, and he pours it on himself, and he starts to look slick and sleek. It seems like he's covered himself in slippery oil. And he's going to run away from both of you while covered in oil. But both of you are right next to him, so I'll let you try and grapple him as an opportunity attack.
All right. And that's
athletics would be the check too. If you're proficient in sleight of hand, I'll also let you use sleight of hand for this as an alternative grapple because he's just a tiny little thing. But sleight of hand or athletics, you guys' choice. Ooh, 20. He's going to be hard pressed to beat that one. So that's a 7 and against you. It's a 23, so he beats you, Valraith, but he doesn't beat you. Kokla, you grab onto him. I also need you to make me a dexterity saving throw. As you grab onto him, you feel your hand starts to slide and slip over his body with the oil. 15. Despite all of his defenses, you manage to grab on and he goes, hey, let me go, let me go!
Nope.
And that's going to bring us next in initiative to you, Zeta. It looks like it looks like Kokla has a pretty firm grasp on the garden gnome right now.
But they're still 60 feet away from me, so I'm not going to dash.
One thing that happens is also you can hear over from the musical instrument section. You hear what sounds like a pretty shrill scream. And over there, you can see someone who was playing one of the little sections of pipes, and you think it might have been one of those ones that you were looking at earlier but couldn't quite identify. There are rats that seem to be coming out of nowhere and just swarming this random person over in the crowd.
Oh dear.
So that's another thing that you see is starting to happen as you are here grabbing onto this gnome. What would you like to do?
Okay, so I'm going to move 30 feet. I'm actually not going to dash towards where Kokla is, and bonus action to do right up to the gnome.
All right.
And while my wife Kokla's holding him, I'm going to look at him and say, look, you want to protect this place, right? You see that going on there? And then I point to the guy getting swarmed with rats. If you want to protect
rat
this place,
infestation, I have to stop it.
Yeah. Now, go get him.
I let go.
You see him reach into his pockets again, and this time he takes out a tiny sword and shield and begins sprinting across the ground in the direction. He'll go after those rats on his next turn. That's going to bring us next initiative to you, Beardfish.
Hello.
It's your turn. There's a dwarf nearby you right now who kind of goes like, "Oh, hello there. It's a nice beard that you got."
Oh, thank you. It is mine, and I like it.
Yes, quite proud of he has a very long beard. As a fellow beardsman, could I interest you perhaps in a drink? He's got like, just found this, looks like there's still liquor in it. As he picks up like what looks like an old flask that he found somewhere amongst like the rubble.
Is it magic?
The flask?
Yeah.
I mean, go ahead and make me an Arcana check.
Oh, that's not bad.
14 is really good for Petrovich. And you're looking over at it, and I mean, you can't just tell for certain, but it has like weird picture of like a dragon on it and some like symbols that like usually when it has that much stuff on it, there's something magical about it. Like
it's shiny, so it's probably magic.
And you can see the basically the old "it's shiny, so it's probably magic" adage is seeming to resonate here. You see he's about to like pop it open and take a swig out of it.
Yeah, what do you want to trade?
Oh, he just was offering you like a drink. Like, you just want to drink this with me, drink this alcohol.
Oh, I thought he said trade.
Oh, no, he said you want to drink.
Yeah, I need magic stuff, and if that is magic, then yes.
I just think, isn't all alcohol magic? And he pops the top off of it and hands it over to you. Don't be too greedy with it. I want some too. As you tip it upside down, you see that light begins to pour out of it and into kind of like the space around you. And that light starts to fall down to the ground. You get a little bit of it in your mouth. It does not taste particularly good. It's also, even though it has a taste, it's not solid. It's just vapor that seems to be going into your mouth. It reminds you of some of the worst smells that were inside of Crixus's bag. And as that light coalesces, you can see a very strange creature starts to form in the space around you. It's some type of like giant hippo with tentacles coming off of it and like no eyes and a weird like it's got not teeth but like almost like tendrils for teeth, and that's what becomes coming out of your bag as it makes a noise sort of like as an Otiug appears.
Otiug popped out of the cup? That's a really small Otiug.
Out of the flask. No, it is a full-sized Otiug that you see here before you. But it was a very small flask. Also, there was some alcohol at the bottom. So you also have gotten a drink as well.
Yeah, still winning.
But now that all of these things have happened, I'll say it's still your turn in initiative because things are crazy right now. What would you like to do?
Oh, that's a cool trick. I need magic things, and I think your shiny thing is magic. Can I keep it?
That's not mine, and I don't want anything to do with it. As he's like stepping back away from the thing. I just thought I was going to get I just thought I was going to have some alcohol in the flask I found.
Oh, okay. Well, there was some in there if you still want it.
And while he's now like turning around and running, as you say that, there was some in there, and the thing behind you is just kind of rearing up towards you and looking like it's getting ready to attack you.
Okay, Beardfish is going to put the flask in their pouch because it's magic and we need that. Fair enough. Is just gonna punch this thing in the face.
Go ahead and make an attack roll. Roll damage on that, or I assume there's more attacks coming in.
Yeah, I'm gonna hit it twice. I think I can do that regularly.
Yeah.
And a 13.
13 will unfortunately miss, but the first one's gonna deal critical damage. Go ahead and roll it.
Well, if it will roll it for me, hold on.
There it goes. 10 points of bludgeoning damage as you whip around and smack this thing. Or just one punch, but you leave kind of a dent in the side of its face, which is a little bit softer than you were expecting it to be. Anything else on your turn?
I'm just gonna say, hey, I didn't mean to drink you. Don't hurt me.
Fair enough. Oh, that's the wrong guy. I need to roll for Swarm of Rats. That's the right guy right here. All right, 13. In that case, the next to act is the top of the initiative, which is you, Kokla. Kokla, all hell has broken loose in the last couple seconds. What would you like to do?
I'm gonna help the gnome with the swarm of rats.
All right, yeah, that gnome is getting ready to charge in.
Is the gnome still in your hand?
Yeah,
No,
actually,
I let go of it.
Okay, you let go of the gnome. So yeah, he's let go.
You could like get halfway there and then drop him, and he could attack.
That's probably true. If you want to carry him there with your faster initiative, you can do that.
Sure.
All right, you begin.
I'm just gonna go the 30. I can still make attack against the swarm of rats. That's a thing I can do.
Yep, absolutely. So you go 30, you let the gnome go, and then what do you want to do with your main action?
I'm going to fire a crossbow.
For sure. 8 flies into the crowd of rats, and you can see that the woman that has the rats like climbing on her right now is just going, "Why are you shooting at me?" As the crossbow just kind of fires harmlessly against the wall nearby, not catching the rats, unfortunately, with an 8.
Fine.
Shoot the rats! You still have a bonus action if you want to do anything with that.
If you don't have anything, it's fine. I have.
Is the swarm of is the Utaga thing within 60 feet?
Yeah, it's about 30 feet away from you now, because you guys were all kind of roughly in the same area and you ran away a bit. So, yeah.
Okay.
What you
just realized I don't think I can do that. So.
give bardic inspiration, stuff like that.
Yeah. Can't think of anything. You can just keep.
Then let's see.
You can always give it to me.
Sure. Let's
throw it a bardic inspiration. Who you want to toss it to?
and toss it to Zeta.
Fair enough.
Thank
All
you,
right.
love.
You throw Zeta bardic inspiration, and we move next in initiative to, I believe it is Valraith next.
Yes. So I'm
Valraith,
30.
what would you like to do?
I'm 30 feet away from this audio.
From the audio, yeah.
Okay. You totally go into that thing.
Yeah, do it up. You run over, diving over furniture, and scared yard sale goers are like, what do you want to do?
Taste this. Oh.
Sometimes it doesn't work out. An 11 crit fail is pretty good though for a level 4 character.
Yeah,
but unfortunately that misses.
I also have an offhand because I was double. So with my offhand, does a 17 hit it?
17 does hit. Go ahead and roll damage on that.
Wait, let me make sure it's right. And one second, I want to make sure.
Do you have more?
I just want to make sure. Yeah, that's it. I just wanted to make sure because I know that the all blade is a little,
Question, Valraith, who is that on?
That was against the audio. And the audio takes 9 points of damage. you stab into it. Its strange tentacled mouth kind of looks over at you. It doesn't have eyes, but it doesn't seem to enjoy what happened to it. Anything else on your turn?
As a bonus.
Go on.
You Shield of Faith yourself as well. As we get now to the, it is the Odiug's turn, which is going to wheel around and go ahead and bite at, you, Valraith.
Okay.
That's a bite
Not
attack.
even
That's an
close.
11 is not going to hit you. And then it's going to take a tentacle attack at you, Valraith. That's going to miss as well. And then Beardfish, it's making one against you. Oh, that's an 18 against you, Beardfish.
That hits, I believe.
One of the Odiug's two tentacles whips up and wraps around you, and you're kind of being flung around in the air a little bit as it kind of picks you up by the tentacles. You're currently restrained. That is all for the Odiug's turn. As we move next to the rats, I believe there's a swarm of rats now. They are kind of crawling over this woman.
Actually, I think we skipped the gnome entirely.
The gnome actually goes after the rats.
Yep.
So the rats are going to bite, but they miss, fortunately, and this woman is still safe. And you don't think she has a lot of hit points, so it's probably very good that they missed. The gnome, the garden gnome, runs up and is going to jump at, is going to kind of run up and jump at the rats. Get off of my master's property! As he's going to make a tiny stab at the rats.
Oh!
You
Nice.
watch as he runs up to one of the rats and dodges a bite from it, and then stabs up and skewers a single rat on his poking stick, and wheels around and gets one more as he looks at the rats and who wants a taste? He does 4 damage. That looks very cool if you're on their scale. And that's all for his turn. We move next to you, Zeta. What would you like to do, Zeta?
So how far is the Otiug away from me? I know I'm 30 feet from Kokla, but...
The Odiug is then also 30 feet from you.
I'm going to walk over to Kokla and
Alright.
I'm going to tell her, use this power wisely, and I touch her, and I poke her, and give her Dragon's Breath as a bonus
Ooh.
action. And use this wisely, love. And then I use a sorcery point, it's a twin spell, so I firebolt both the Otiug and the swarm of rats at the same time.
So you're fire bolting both of them?
Yes, I'm firebolting
All right,
both of them
excellent.
using twin spell feature of meta magic.
Okay, rad. Go ahead and make me your 2 attack rolls.
So, first one's at Otiug. I'm going to use Bardic Inspiration on that.
All right. Roll the Bardic Inspiration. 13.
Still doesn't miss. Still
Let me
misses.
just check. Yeah, it just barely misses, unfortunately.
The second one is going for the rat.
Go ahead and make an attack with that.
Not even close.
Yeah, a couple of bad runs. You're directly in between them, so as you put your arms out to either side, you're unable to get a firm aim on either of the 2 firebolts. Crash to the sides. Is that all for your turn, Zeta?
Unfortunately, yes. I've used every possible action.
Beardfish, there's a giant tentacle hippo grappling you. It's your turn.
Beardfish is going to attempt to pull that flask out again,
Whoa! You take out the flask.
and they're going to open it and yell at the beast, "Get back in, or I'll haggle."
You focus your energy into the flask. This is a very good idea. Odiug's going to make a con save. The Odiug does very well on his con save. That is one of his stronger aspects. But you see the flask begin to like draw wind into it, like it's trying to pressure it in. You think that action could work, but it would just have to fail to save. But you still have a bonus action.
Okay. What can I do as a bonus action if I didn't hit first? One moment,
I
please.
should also mention that my Dragon Breath is fire.
Good to know.
Am I currently grappled by it?
You are, yes.
I don't want to try to fight that. I will not take a bonus action.
Okay. In that case, that's going to bring us around to the top of the initiative, which is going to be Kokla. What do you want to do, Kokla?
Okay, so Kokla, as an action, if you want, because of Dragon's Breath, you can spew a 15-foot cone of fire, and the enemy has to roll a dex save or take 3d6 damage.
All right, I'll keep that in mind.
You have that for like a minute, so yeah.
Yeah, it lasts a little while, but yeah, what's the play going to be, Kokla? What do you want to do?
Gonna get closer to the rat swarm.
Yeah, you're kind of split in the middle between them right now, so you could get closer to the rat swarm if you'd like.
Gonna get closer so that I can aim this thing that Zeta has gifted me.
One thing to keep in mind, there is a woman that the rats are swarming with right now that are kind of occupying the same space. So you would, if you're going to use an area of effect ability, you would have to also target the woman, which is a little bit of a rough situation.
There is the OTIC option.
Yes.
But the turn is yours, Kokla. So.
Is the Dragon Breath an action or?
Yes, it's an action.
Okay.
If you use it, I'll roll it.
Well, Kokla would roll it. Also, make sure to let Kokla.
I know. I just
take a
had
turn.
it. I know. I was just letting them know because they didn't know what Dragon's Breath was.
Yeah. I gotta go for the OTIG, so.
All right. You wheel around towards the OTOG, and what would you like to do?
Get close enough to actually use the breath, and then
Yep, you get within 15
like
feet.
just barely be able to. And
Yeah, the
then
OTOG's big enough that you can avoid the allies that are currently engaged with it. So,
And
so
then
make a
I'm
dex
gonna.
save.
Yeah.
Yeah, it definitely fails that.
Yeah, the
I
DC was
rolled this.
13, so it's 3d6 fire.
3d6. Okay. Don't know how to roll things.
You want to type /roll and then a space and then 3d6. So what I just typed, but without the period in front of it.
Okay.
Okay.
Excellent. So 7 points of fire damage as you rear back and kind of breathe out. What does it look like as Kokla leashes this torrent of flame? Is it a terrifying roar, or is it just a very... is it just kind of like an open mouth and it comes out?
It's what Kokla wants it to be.
Yeah,
I
it's-
gave it to Kokla?
Yeah,
Gonna
well,
open her mouth and go ah, and it's gonna have a slight like green tinge, but other than that,
all right. The fire courses outwards. You still have a bonus action if you would like to use it, and the ODA takes 7 points of fire damage.
if I didn't move my full thing, I'd like to move back to the middle so that it's easy to.
Yeah, you can actually exactly do that. I think 15 forward, 15 back. So
Yep.
you are good. Yep, you step back to the middle. Anything with bonus action?
No.
All right, that's going to bring us next in initiative to Valraith. What would you like to do, Valraith?
Oh, I think you know exactly what I plan on doing.
I just think I do, but go ahead and roll it for me anyway. 22
one. And
27, both of those are going to hit. For 14, oof,
20.
and 9, 25, or 23 points of damage.
I also would like to just
Tossing a smite on that.
throw a smite on that.
The casual. Extra,
Yeah.
an extra 8, so 31 points of damage as you strike at it with the all blade. 2 swift hits. followed by the divine mist of the cloud. The Odeog takes a huge chunk of damage. It definitely doesn't like that. Which is that all for your turn?
Get back in that bottle where you belong.
Fair enough. That is going to bring us to the Odeog, who says something to you in the language of Odeogs, and he says, and is going to bite at you.
Okay.
Oh,
That actually does
24.
hit. That actually does hit.
I usually make me a Constitution saving throw.
Oh.
And you fail. Your hit point maximum is also reduced by, in addition to the 18 piercing damage, your hit point maximum is reduced by 1. So you can get up to 1 less high than you were. And then a tentacle is going to go after you, Valraith. That's a 19 to hit.
Actually, I got 1 sec. I got to do this to see.
Oh, yeah, concentration. You hold on to your concentration.
So that does not hit.
Ooh, nice. And then against you, there's actually nothing you can do against you. It just has you in its tentacle right now, and it kind of like shakes you about a little bit, but it can't hit you because it already has you restrained. So that's all it does to you. So you're good, kind of, Beardfish. As good as being grappled by a tentacle monster can be. That is going to be all for the Odeog's turn. Rats are going to continue to attack this woman who summoned them, because that's what the item does. And I feel very bad for her, but sometimes that's the way it goes. She goes down as she gets swarmed by rats, and then the rats course out and begin moving towards and circling the garden gnome, whose turn it is now. She's downed, that's for sure. Dead might be another question. He's gonna make another tiny stab, and he hits another 4 points. I'm pulling for him. That's the minimum damage, but he kills 2 more rats as he flourishes around with his tiny little, like pin needle-sized sword. And that's all for his turn. That's going to bring us to you, Zeta. What would you like to do, Zeta?
Excellent. I'm going to, well, first of all, I'm going to use my other metamagic quicken spell to use Scorching Ray as a bonus action.
All right.
And it's all going for the Odeog.
All right, go ahead and make me a few attack rolls.
A 3.
10, a crit
Oh my
will
God,
hit,
a
of course,
crit!
and an 18. So go ahead and roll damage on the 25 and the 18.
Fire.
The fire courses outwards. The creature takes 10 points, 16 points of fire damage. The Odeog rears backwards and starting to look a little bit hurt, actually, especially from that last critical fire strike. And that was just your bonus action, so you still have an action.
Okay, so I'm going to go over to the rats, and I'm pulling out the one and the only weapon of choice.
All right, you begin running over to the rats, and you take out your forbidden candy cane and go to strike with it. The rats kind of swarm around it, and you aren't able to get a solid grasp on any of them with the 10, unfortunately. Let me make sure that's true. Oh, wait, I'm sorry, that just hits.
Nice.
Never mind, 10 hits. Go ahead and roll damage on that.
4 necrotic.
4 points of necrotic damage, and you watch as the candy cane strikes down. It hits the ground, not striking rats, but then the energy begins to siphon from them, and 4 more rats go down with that strike. Anything else on your turn?
Nope. Though I'm gonna look at Kokla and just tell her that woman might need help.
Right.
That's all for your turn. That's going to bring us to Beardfish. Beardfish, you're being kind of awkwardly thrown around in the air by the Odeog. What would you like to do?
Get in the flask!
You're just gonna hold the flask out again and just like, come
I'm
on!
trying to like
I'm gonna give him.
flask
Oh, wait.
against one of the tentacles to try to like scoop it in.
I'm gonna give him disadvantage on this save because he just took like 40 damage this past round. So I'll give him a save with disadvantage. Actually, go ahead and also make me an attack roll using the flask. So just go ahead and make me an unarmed strike, because I think that's fair. You're just basically punching with a flask. So 10? Okay, yeah, that's not gonna hit. So he'll make his regular con save. Oh man, he rolls really well. Despite the disadvantage, he gets a 22.
Since I'm a monk, can I try that twice as an unarmed attack?
I will give it to you.
Yeah, loopholes.
I'll give you the flurry of blows.
Flurry of flasks.
Flurry of flasks. No! you're swinging the flask around in the air, but you're not used to it, and he's like jiggling you around. So to no avail, unfortunately. Sometimes that's the way the dice go. Anything else on your turn, Beardfish?
So I know flurry of flasks, flurry of blows normally gives 2 attacks, but do you just want me to
I just assumed that was your regular.
No.
Yeah, you can do, if you're gonna expend the key point, you can do flurry of blows.
Oh yeah, heck yeah.
Yeah, go again. 25. That's gonna hit. You strike it. You strike it with the flask, and as you hit the tentacle in front of you, you can see it doesn't just, the whole thing doesn't get sucked up into it, but you can see the tentacle that you strike. It starts to act almost like a vacuum on that one tentacle, and it just gets sucked down into it, and you're now holding on to that tentacle and the flask as he's lost one of his tentacles.
Oh.
And, like it ripped right off? Oh god.
No, it didn't rip off. It's mostly in the flask, which Beardfish is now holding, and so you're essentially grappling it now by the flask. Does that make sense? Okay. That's going to bring us to the round to the top of the initiative, which is going to once again be you, Kokla. Kokla, what would you like to do?
Gonna run to the woman.
Okay. You run over to her. She is very much downed. You can see that she is covered in rat bites.
And then I'm gonna do this.
Ooh, you kind of cure wounds. You kind of cure wounds on this woman. She looks up at you and sees your eyes. My hero. I thought I was done for when those rats, but you've saved me. What is your name?
Brasscrown.
All right, I forgive you for trying to kill me with a crossbow. Wait,
I was trying to hit the rat, but sorry for missing.
That's okay. It didn't actually hit me either. It just seemed like you weren't on my side. I've been having a long. Go fight the rats. And anything else on your turn as you've saved this random woman?
Bracing myself for joining the fight? Nope.
Rat battle, fair enough. In that case, that's going to bring us next initiative to Valraith. What would you like to do, Valraith?
We know where this is going yet again.
Yep.
I think that, oh yeah. And does a 19.
Both are going to hit for sure. Go ahead and roll damage on those guys. 10, 20.
Wait. I got one more left.
I suspected.
Oh my god!
Oh, monster. All right.
Oh my god.
The 2 doesn't add, but the 11. 21 points.
31.
Oh, wait, 31. You're right, 31. My mistake, Jesus. As you 2 more swift strikes along with another cloud smite.
Get back in the flask! Swing it long!
You can see, like, as you're striking it and it's kind of weakening, it's surrendering more, and a little bit more of the tentacle. Beardfish, you get pulled forward as it gets pulled towards you, as the tentacle is now down to, like, the base where it connects to his body. Anything else on your turn? Valraith.
That's all.
That's going to bring us then to the rats. Actually, no, I'm sorry, it's the Odiug. The other tentacle is going to go after you. Valraith.
Go ahead. Does not.
It doesn't. That's actually a 21. It doesn't have advantage.
No, I've got 23 right now.
Oh my god, you savage!
I've got 19 plus I have defensive fighting style from Paladin, so that makes it a 21, plus I have a +2, so yeah.
That would only bring you to a 22, but it's still enough.
22, whatever.
Yeah. So the tentacle goes and strikes onto you, and it's a powerful hit, but in your dense armor, you weather the strike. And it's going to bite at you, Beardfish, because you're trying to flask it, and it does not want to be back in there. 12 points of piercing damage. I need you to make me a Constitution saving throw.
Sure thing.
You lose 3 maximum HP for what that is worth for now. And that is going to bring us to the Garden Gnome, which is going to continue to do glorious battle with the rats. His tiny stab hits for 5. He kills still 2 rats as he swings it about. The rats this time are going to fight him back. Oh wait, no, Kokla. They're going to go after you, Kokla, because you're an easier target.
Well.
Oh no. Well, they've already gone after Kokla. Kokla, that's 10 points of piercing damage.
Ow.
Yeah, rats begin to climb onto you and bite at you as you are being swarmed as well. And that's going to bring us next to you, Zeta. What would you like to do, Zeta? Theodia is near defeat.
I'm actually more concerned with the rats now because now they're all over my wife.
Yeah.
Get off my wife! And now I'm also going to take a dagger and dual wield them.
Go ahead and make some rat attacks.
Dagger?
13 is going to hit.
5?
For 5 points of piercing damage.
And
12 is going to hit for...
only
5 points of
2.
necrotic damage.
Only 2 because...
It doesn't have the bonus. So 2,
Yeah.
and then the first one is half because they're resistant to that, so it's going to be 4 points of damage total. The rats are starting to dwindle. There's not very many rats left. Anything else on your turn, Zeta?
Hey, Garden, wanna try a magic trick? And I touch him and wait, actually no, I'm out of second level spell slots. Damn it!
Oh, okay.
Rip. I was gonna give him Dragon's Breath, but I forgot.
Yes.
But Kokla still has hers. But
Is that all for your turn?
Yep, that's all for my turn.
All right, that's going to bring us to you, Beardfish.
Hello.
What would you like to do?
So this thing is still being absorbed into the flask.
It's still being
yeah?
absorbed in the flask a little bit. You can try for the absorb again if you'd like to start with.
Yeah, I kind of want to get this taken care of, so yeah, just gonna like wiggle the flask to try to see.
It's like you're fishing at this point, and you got one on the hook.
Yeah.
And he's gonna roll with disadvantage again. A 9. You begin kind of wiggling the flask, and you can all of a sudden, as you're just trying to like get the angle on it, you just see some of like the side of his hip kind of start to get pushed into the flask where the tentacle connected, and then you hear the Odia just all of a sudden stops. And then more of his body begins to suck downwards and into the flask as he gets completely absorbed. It's like throws your arms around in the air a little bit, Beardfish. He kind of flies around there. And there's just a pleasant popping sound. And as soon as he pops into it, the little cap, which was taken off it before, which was on a chain, throws itself back onto the top.
We'll take the flask too.
This just automatically puts the flask back in your pouch.
Yeah, you put the flask back. You can still use your regular turn as well. I was saying that I would say that was a free one since you already connected it. So.
Okay, I'm gonna go up and run and punch some rats.
Punch some rats. Go ahead and make me some punches. It's now looking like, go ahead and roll damage on that. The 25 and 13 both hit. 4 and 6. Another 5 points of damage to these guys. It's starting to look like overkill as there's now just a bunch of people that are just going around like punching and stomping on these rats. There's only a couple left. The rat menace nearly defeated. As we pass them to you, Kokla, there's 3 rats left, and they're crawling on like your shoulders and trying to get up at you.
Well, then, just gonna take this out of my pocket and
roll damage. 6, exactly what you needed. You just quickly, as they're going on your shoulders, you just take the dagger and just stab, 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 and get the last 3 rats. Yeah, you've successfully defeated all of the rats, and you can see on the ground as you kind of finish them off. The woman looks over at you. Kokla, my savior.
yes.
Can you get rid of this? I don't want it anymore. It's a bad flute. As she hands you the cursed pipes of the sewers.
I can get this dealt with. Thank you.
All right. And with that, you're out of initiative, and the garden gnome kind of looks up at you guys and goes, another day in the life of a garden gnome. Really took care of those rats. You all fought well out there.
You did a lot of the work.
I know.
That's so cool of you.
Just what I do. Kind of crosses his arms and looks over at you. So all said and done, you've picked up a flask, some pipes, and kind of this. You're not sure if this gnome's on your side yet, but you have 7 out of 8 magic items.
So, Mr. Gnome, I know you want to protect this place, but the issue is a lot of the stuff you're going to be protecting is going elsewhere, and it's really dangerous. Maybe there's a guy that we're working for named Bartholomew. Maybe you can help protect him, because he has a lot of dangerous items that, if it gets into the wrong hands, it could be bad.
All right. I'll do it on one condition.
And what's that?
Yes.
I have to protect my home. So if you buy my home too, I'll go along with it.
What is your
All
home
right, well-
exact?
Yeah,
Wait.
show us to your home.
What is the home?
My master's house, it's for sale. It's really cheap too. And he points over, and there's just a wooden door over in the corner. Yeah, it has a price tag of 10 gold pieces on it. There's he called it Mordenkainen's Magnificent Mansion or whatever. Yeah, just a permanent one.
What?
All right.
Who
So
wants
if
a
you-
free mansion?
I'll do it.
So
Here
if you buy my house and do that, I'll come with you.
I'll buy it.
I tossed Valraith 10 gold pieces.
You said you were doing this for some Bartholomew guy. You gotta tell him that me and that thing can't be separated.
All right.
Okay,
We will tell
fair
him.
All right. And he kind of looks around satisfied. But
Why
you
don't you strap it to your back like turtles do?
that's a door, and I'm kind of a garden gnome.
Oh.
No offense or anything. It's just it's not gonna work out for me.
All right.
Okay.
Well, let's get to buying these items.
You walk up to the counter and looks over. So you're going to be purchasing that. No, I see you found the gnome that you were looking for. And it's going to be the pipes of the sewers here. What was it, just this weird door? Before we even haggle, how about I just say that'll be your add-in? We'll just make that the old add-in on whatever you get, because I know you're going to want to haggle me again. And
Right.
what was the
None of
other?
us tried to haggle you.
The
And the flask, was it?
No, flask is in Beardfish's pouch out of sight.
Well, then you don't have enough items as it stands. But he looks over at the Attribution and goes, in that case, the pipes are going to be 60 gold pieces. And what was the other thing?
no.
The gnome 40. We'll say 40 for the gnome. 100 all said and done. And the door, I'll give you that for free if you promise to take the other prices.
All right.
Very well.
That
Deal.
sounds acceptable.
All right, so you have legitimately purchased 7 items and seem to be stealing 1.
Oh boy.
I'm going to see, are there any other cool-looking trinkets on the little trinket table?
Looking around, you're detecting magic still, and you're going around. It seems like you've gotten kind of the brunt of the magic items here. I mean, there's a lot of fun little stuff.
Yeah.
There's like a deck of playing cards with like goofy characters and stuff on them, as well as you can see there's a bunch of like there's a bunch of plates that have been put together, like in the kitchenware section. You see a bunch of plates that have been put together in like a goofy statue. That's kind of a fun one. There's tons of shoes. There's a whole fashion department that you guys haven't kind of checked out too much.
I'll go look at the fashion stuff.
But on the whole, you can like find some. You have a lot of funds left over. Like I said, it looks like you've looted most of the magic, but you can find some just like goofy knickknacks. If any of you want to take a souvenir,
Absolutely.
I'll give you all credit for one goofy non-magical object that you find that you can tell me what it is.
Okay. I'm sure our kids will love it.
Find some toys, perhaps, yeah. And yeah, you can find a few things with the extra funds that Bartholomew gave you. You can buy a couple of things for Crixus's bag if you want, Valraith.
Absolutely.
So it seems to come down to you guys have gotten all of the cursed items out of this place.
Nice. So how do we get it all to Bartholomew is the question.
You hear a voice in your head speak to you. Greetings, adventurers. How are things going?
Oh, hello, Bartholomew. We got
Going great.
items.
Very good, very good. In that case, should I bring you back? Have you finished up your use of the funds?
Yeah, we actually still have funds left over.
That is the most wonderful news I think I've ever heard. In that case, I'm going to be bringing you home, going once, going twice. And all of a sudden, the 4 of you find yourself transported back into Bartholomew's shop. And Bartholomew kind of looks over the group of you. Greetings, adventurers. So, let me see the hall.
The garden stays with the door.
Well, not. Well, I thought you meant the bus.
Well, it stays with the house thing.
Oh no. We are acquaintances, but we're not friends. I know that he guards the house, so it makes sense that he'd want to stay. Oh, there's a couple of sentient ones here. I see.
We have a garden gnome, a bus.
Jar of mayonnaise. I'm going to make lunch in a little while.
Yeah, that thing apparently
we have this
makes
very dangerous flute and death maracas.
Yeah, don't touch those.
Oh, I'll be fine.
If you like mayonnaise, there's this pot. Plenty of mayonnaise.
Yes, I was just admiring your pot of mayonnaise. I only
It makes
see...
infinite mayonnaise, apparently.
Beardfish walks over to the pot of mayonnaise, scoops a bunch out, walks over to Crixus's bag, and just drops a handful in.
Oh, jeez. And Bartholomew's, I only count 7 at the moment. It seems you're 1 short.
Beardfish, where'd you put that one thing?
Oh.
Yeah.
Beardfish pulls it out and says, there is a drink in here, but also
It's
I
a
think
living
you should
drink.
not try to drink.
It's like a tentacle monster.
Yeah, there's a
Bartholomew said,
tentacle
oh
monster
my
in there.
goodness, this is an iron flask. This is a legendary item. You can just capture any monster in it.
Well, that
Yeah,
explains why there was a tentacle monster in there.
Well, that's good that you've gotten this out of... if just some kid had picked that up, they would have died. So great work. These 8 items... Beardfish, did you want this tentacle monster? I can throw it in Crixus's bag.
what?
It seemed like you were interested in the tentacle monster they described in there. So I was going to say I could just put it into Crixus's bag if you would like, for him to cook or do it.
I think it was interested in me, but not anymore because it's in here. I don't care what you do with it.
Fair enough. I'll hold on to it then. In that case, I do believe I owe you all some money. I'll take the change, and for each of you, turn that gold right into... He hands each of you 200 Bartholomew bucks. You each gain a point of experience, And with that, you have successfully completed this shopping adventure. Congratulations, heroes, on your victory.
Yay!
Speaking of shopping,
Yes, my next question. And while you're here, if you want to just switch that money right back to me, that is fine. Anything I can get for you.
yes,
Store
I
credit, so to speak.
I would like to pull from the bag.
That we can do. Go ahead and roll me a D1000.
I'll laugh if he gets the iron fist.
Ooh,
24!
that's a good number. You reach into the bag, and your hand passes over a number of things as I get ready here. Why is it not? There it is. Your hand passes over a number of things, but what you end up on, first it appears to be some type of, it's something kind of like sharp and unrefined, which you get rid of, and then you feel kind of a great warmth come over you. But the item that you end up, oh my goodness, the item, Valraith, the item that you end up grabbing onto, you reach into the bag. Is this really? Hold on a second.
I like where this is going.
You reach into the bag and you pull out a belt, and it's got a lot of like dwarven runes and stuff.
Oh my god!
And Bartholomew speaks up to you. That may be dwarven characters, but the language is giant. That is a build of frost giant strength.
Yes! I'm totally putting that on Valraith.
Yeah, I know you are. You got yourself a belt of frost giant strength. It makes your strength score 23. Enjoy, you savage.
Oh my god! That is so awesome.
Yeah, Valraith is so decked. It's ridiculous. Can I get anything for anyone else?
I think I'm good. What do you want anything, love?
I'm good too.
Beardfish, can I get anything for you?
No, I
Very
think
well.
I'm okay. I'm
Okay.
thirsty though.
In
Can I
that
have a
case,
glass of water?
glass of water we can do, or a glass of whatever you would like. But for now, that's going to wrap us up. We'll be back shortly with our second adventure. Thanks for watching, everyone.